Hello, grade 9s. This is pattern number 5, which means it's subject, verb, direct object, and indirect object. But remember that the indirect object and the direct object can switch if they need to. So this is not about specific grammar or structure. That is about the fact that speaking-wise, colloquially, it's a weird word, oftentimes we make that adjustment naturally because it sounds better to our ears. So be aware of that, please. Let's look at number 1. Same concepts as always. Start with the verb, find the subject, and then work our way through the thought process. So I passed my student the ball. What's the verb? Passed. Right? And this is an action verb or transitive verb. We should start thinking. Who passed something? Sorry, I just spit in the mic. Who passed something? I did. And that's a noun. So I passed. I passed who or what? Now, a lot of you are going to go, my student, because it's the next thing in the line. However, I'm not actually passing my student. Did I pick him up or her up and throw them? Did I actually transfer them from their position? No, I'm talking about the ball. I passed the ball. Okay, it's a noun. This article works off of that. What did I pass? The ball. To whom or to what did I pass the ball? To my student. So student would be my indirect object. My works off of that. Right? And that's a noun as well. I feel like this camera is moving a lot. Hey, Moises, can you back your desk up? I think you're shaking my table. It was that. Thank you very much. Moises has made a guest appearance in my video. Number 2, Mr. Dopage gave homework to his classes. So let's do it again. What's the verb? Gave. It's a transitive verb. Who gave something? Mr. Dopage. It's a noun. So Mr. Dopage gave who or what? What did Mr. Dopage actually give? Well, he gave homework, of course. What a nice guy. Homework is also a noun. Lastly, to whom or to what did Mr. Dopage give his homework? To his classes. This would be an indirect object. And it's classes. Because it's both working off of that. We're simple. We're getting there. It's making it easier. Jose made his class some cookies. What's the verb? Made. It's a transitive verb. Who made? Jose. What did Jose actually make? If you say his class, that means he put them in the oven and he baked them. That's outrageous. He made his cookies. Some cookies are telling me what kind of cookies. Also, to whom or to what did he make it? To his class. That's it. Jose made cookies class. It's pretty simple. The school asked me many questions before entering. What's the actual verb? Asked. Okay? Entering is also a verb, but we're not talking about entering. Like, I didn't enter the school. It was before entering. Oh, that must be like a prep phrase. Because it tells me when they asked it. Who asked something? The school did. Once again, pretty simple stuff here. By now, I hope that you can recognize the verb and the subject pretty quickly. The school asked who or what. What did they actually ask? They asked many questions. I know that they asked me the question, but you're sending the question to me. So the idea is many works off of questions, and this is a noun. They're actually sending the question. Like if you were to think about the movement that we talk about with transitive verbs, the question leaves the person's mouth. The school questions the school's question leaves whoever's speaking their mouth and it hits me. So they indirectly interact with me. Right? So let's look at number 5. One should not give children alcohol. That's pretty simple. This is a little more complicated, and I did this on purpose. Is it give? Is it not give? Is it should not? Is it should not give? I would say it's all. Should give is actually going to be your verb phrase, right? Not is just it's an adjective, right? Remember we said not is the negative? So this is your verb. Who should not give? One. Oops. One should not give. What should they not give? They should not give alcohol specifically. To whom or to what should they not give alcohol? To the children. So this is a noun. This is a noun. This is a pronoun. And that's a verb phrase. Simple, yet with a verb phrase that might complicate you a little bit. Let's look at number 6. While driving, the lady screamed swear words to the other drivers. Sounds normal here, right? So let's consider it. What's the actual verb? Well, we have driving. Is it driving? So first of all, let's think deeply about this. It's a pattern 5, right? Meaning subject, verb. If I identify the driving as a verb, while is the subject, so while is driving something? No, of course not. The lady is screaming something, so here's a verb. Okay? Who is screaming, we decided? The lady. So we have these basic pieces right here. You're starting to see it hopefully a little bit easier. While driving seems to tell me when she's screaming. So we can let that go as just like a little prep phrase. I'll move you up a little so you can see better. What is she actually screaming? Is she screaming the other drivers or is she screaming swear words? She's screaming swear words. Okay? They're what kind of words? Swear words. So this is your noun, which is a direct object. So let's think of the pattern again. The lady screamed swear words to whom or to what? To the other drivers. This would make it your indirect object, right? It's drivers, by the way, because the other, both of those work off of drivers. To also works drivers. Two drivers. I'm going to go ahead and put that line there for you. Okay, so to is a prep, the is an article, other is an adjective, just in case you were wondering. Okay, one of the problems at school caused many of the families many problems. Mr. Dope, which is annoying. Caused is that verb. It's an action, right? Now, what caused? The problems that the school caused, but I'm seeing some things in here that you need to kind of be pendiente about. At is a preposition, of is a preposition, meaning that those are prepositional phrases, right? One of the problems work off of one, right? At school, those are the problems at school. So that works there. So if this works off of this, which works off of this, one must be your actual subject, which is, again, a pronoun. I know you can't read that word pronoun, but don't worry, you heard me say it. One caused what? Did someone cause many of the families, or did they cause many problems? Obviously, after I asked that question, they cause many problems. Many works off of problems, which is a noun. Many being an adjective. To whom or to what is the next question. So one caused problems to whom or to what? To many of the families. But again, we see a preposition. So of the families must work off of many. So many being your indirect object. So subject, verb, indirect, direct. Just like that. I'm sorry, you didn't see that. Just like this up here. All right, so 3 more. Mr. George, after the argument, provided the scared student some love. I'm so sorry, I can't even read. Mr. George, after the argument, provided the scared student some support and love. What's the verb? Provided. Who provided something? Is it after the argument provided? No, Mr. George provided something, right? Our new principal. That is what we're talking about here. Mr. George provided who or what? What did he actually provide? He actually provided some love and support and love, right? Actually, there's 2 things here. This is a conjunction, meaning that it connects 2 of the same. Support and love would technically be your direct objects. Some support, and you could argue that some goes with love, or you can just say that some stays with support. Either one I would accept. Mr. George provided support and love to whom or to what? To the scared students. Therefore, this must be your indirect object. And now is it scared, student, or the? Well, scared goes, oops, I messed up. Scared goes with student. The goes with student, right? So this must be my noun as an indirect object. Almost there. Mr. Dopich offered his students free time during class. What's the verb? Offered. Who offered something? Well, Mr. Dopich offered something, right? What did he actually offer? Free time. That's what I was offering you. I was giving you time or free time in class. Oh, during class? I just said it for you. Works when you got the free time during class. I didn't offer during class. You don't know that, but I offered you free time that is during class. You don't see that I've offered it during that class time. So here's my thought is if I'm looking at this and I'm saying it's connected to offered, that means during my class I had to say I'm offering you free time. But what if I did that on Hangouts? Or if I did that on classrooms? Or if I did that during lunchtime? This works with that. And then to whom or to what did Mr. Dopich offer free time? To his students. Okay, again, a noun. And this is a possessive pronoun, but you don't need to know that just yet. Sound good? Last one. The waiter poured the table of guests large glasses of wine. What did he actually do? He poured something. Who poured something? Well, the waiter. We've kind of decided that. The waiter poured who or what? Did he pour a table of guests, Did he pour the actual table out of something? No, of course not. He poured them large glasses of wine. Now, is it large wine? Is it large glasses? Is it large? What is it? Well, of is a prep phrase, right? Oh, they all work off of they all work off of glasses, meaning that all of these things, this adjective, this prep phrase, okay, all work off of glasses, your direct object. So the waiter poured who or what? Glasses. To whom or to what? To the table of guests. So this must be my indirect object. But once again, we have some complications. It's the table. This is a prep phrase. Table of guests. So that table becomes something a little bit different. It didn't pour the glasses of wine to the table. He gave it to the table of guests. Speaking of people, but that's not how it's formatted. So that, again, is pattern 5 pretty quickly. Recognize that, again, we can switch the direct object with the indirect object. For example, the second one is a DO-IO, and the first one is an IO-DO. I passed the ball to my student would be the same thing. However, I passed my student the ball feels more casual. So if I wrote, Mr. Dopich gave homework to his classes, That feels better. I could say Mr. Dopich gave his classes homework, and it would be a little more casual, but both work. I hope you did well, and I hope you did okay with pattern number 5, and I'll see you in a bit.